Battle Space Commander, thy kingdom come. Commander's Log Entry 2, Valor Beyond Contestation. Salutations from the intergalactic eco-marshals. Hear my voice, for I am the scribe of deeds, and the following narrative that is about to unfold tells of the eco-marshals' intrepid journeys, of hopes and dreams, of missions clandestine and overt, of love loved and rendezvous kept beckoning to be told, not lost in the infinity of the cosmic footnotes of time. Hence, if you hear my voice, then life has not been sold, and change the course of finality you can make before it is truly too late. So, here we go, buckle up, for the ride will be invigorating. Have your tissues ready and popcorn bucketed with butter melting, dripping aromas wafting through the air. I am set on cyclic motion, so their story will reverberate through to space and time continuum. And as passions ignite the noble causes alight, intergalactic planetary systems shiver in feverish climatic anticipation, for change is inevitable, explosive, and when the cosmic chemistry is compromised, the eco-marshals fear not, for their youth is no barrier, for valor is their middle name, fait accompli their end state, challenge at your peril. They fit no earthly criteria, for the cosmos anointed humility their first in honor, their last name be, their deeds scribed in perpetuity adorn heaven's night in stars shining bright. An earth of life vibrant in fashions, pastels and colors of brilliance's vivaciousness, the only paradise, for there is no other comparable under heaven's domain, of refracted prisms, splendor of sapphire skies, and crimson ruby reds, where sails are set on ocean's turquoise blue and voyage fathoms of deep jade, emerald greens. Alas, oh, oceans deep and skies vast and Amazon's lushes of life, all squandered to feed greed's gluttonous need for profit over life. How we lament blatant anthropogenic contempt, weary of ineptitude and greed's evil agenda. Heaven demands attitudinal adjustment, justice's sort. Our journey now begins. Sit back, relax and dream futures fantastic, as I take you on an autobiography of what was, is, and can be. Join us as we traverse the vortexes of the space-time continuum. Through sextant, chart course to the nebulae, for tomorrow's horizon awaits in eager anticipation, futures fantastic ours to make. Free passage the cosmos grants as we contour the vortexes across the spatial expanse of galactic skies. Quasars, pulsars, and supermassive black holes deter us not as we navigate our way home, earthbound we be. The junior eco-marshals, they're formidable, eloquent and benevolent, their mission to champion environmental advocacy, life forms rights, and the pursuit of intergalactic democracy, for freedom 'tis inalienable right. Doc, how's Galaxy getting on with her dissertation? Chief asked. Actually, she enjoys the research, especially as quantum physics ties into her passion for intergalactic jetpack racing. What keeps Galaxy going, though, is hers and Star's pre-planned homework stayovers come IMAX and popcorn, online shopping studies, which resounded to Chief's unmistakable laugh, a booming Santa Claus with a megaphone. Yes, Star's allowance is maxed out. Her mum and I said we would top it up next millennium. She gave me that look, and it melted my heart. No, I thought, this time I'll put my foot down. What, as you stand up from your chair? Doc said jokingly, as the command deck cheerfully reverberated to the boom of Chief's laughter. He went on to say, I credited her my allowance as a non-interest-bearing non-refundable loan. Actually it's an early birthday gift. Now that's the Chief we know, Doc said. It's terrific to see all our kids coping with life and deep space and the complexities of the cosmos, so, maxing out her allowance once in every cyclic revolution of Mars to Moons, Phobos and Deimos, by my calculations, it's manageable. I just enjoy being dad. It's an awesome gift from above and a privilege. And, I'm really proud of my baby's interest in the pursuit of intergalactic democracy. Also, I have to say, she does love her great-grandpop's intrepid adventures. It's a bedtime ritual, Chief said. I know what you mean. Galaxy loves everything to do with speed and the well-being of planetary ecosystems. She was a bit perplexed, actually surprised after reading an article in The Galactic Post, that planet Earth's Paris Accord on climate change was binned. However, not long after she read enthusiastically as the haze of disinformation and fake news dissipated, wisdom prevailed, and it was reinstated. However, observing the ripple effect that bit of shenanigans caused, and cost in terms of the unwarranted demise of life forms, the cosmos put out a memo rhetorically asking in utter disbelief, dudes, what on Pluto is going on down there? Upon hearing the boss and citing the highest level memo in the cosmos, heaven's angels postulated, maybe all the trees have been chopped down, now they are short of oxygen, and it's impacting their frontal lobes and cerebellum, cognitive functionality. Boss, shortly after, in a show of voracious euphoria, All the planets, galaxies, and the infinite dimensions of space celebrated jubilantly with cyber SMS alerts beaming throughout the cosmos and beyond as wisdom prevailed. Paradise's sentinels went on to say, "We note the boss is smiling today, that's good to see." "Yes, indeed," Heaven's angel said rather excitedly. "You see, faith graced the ancient sands of Ur of the Iraqi, to foster peace, love, and harmony." "Yeah, go Earth, you can do it," the angels proclaimed. "Plus, it looks like there's hope. They're reinstating efforts to reverse the devastating impact of climate change. I think that's because the oxygen levels have risen. Looks like the land of the long white cloud are planting 1 billion trees." "Yep, it is foretold they will be the largest utopia as green as Earth can be, for the emphasis is on planting, not chopping trees." "Awesome," as Heavens, angels, and sentinels enjoyed a cup of coffee and tea while chatting away commented, "It's so good to celebrate their achievements. Life was becoming rather depressing seeing the only paradise in the cosmos turned into trash just for cash." "Maybe they're all going to go stay on Mars," one angel thought out loud, "not sure if the Martians will appreciate their nonchalant attitude towards planetary well-being." Heaven's angels and sentinels all bewilderingly thought to themselves, "I would prefer sun and surf over electromagnetic gamma-ray storms any day of the millennium, each to their own." "Say Larvae. Captain, how's Meteor doing with his medical studies?" "He's relishing the challenge, thanks Doc, especially as his studies link with the rights of life forms and also ties into his great-grandparents' past adventures." "Yes, Chief, and I spoke of our kids yearning for family connection, especially the intrigue and suspense." Looking out the portal, Doc commented to the command deck, "Captain, there's an intense glow approaching off our bow. It seems to be moving faster than the speed of light." "Ouch, the portal's hot. They're supposed to be heat-resistant." Seeing what looked like explosions way in the distance moving closer with every glimpse, observing the console indicating a system malfunction, Chief suddenly reacted. Knowing it is better to be wrong than proven right, he hailed over the intercom, "Everyone brace, brace, brace." As the glow exploded off the bow, it sent shockwaves rippling past mission control, shaking the space station violently. "Is everyone okay?" Captain asked. "That was close. Are the shields holding?" "The crew are fine. Senior Search and Rescue Bot informed me the kids are in hibernation and that there are no reports of injuries," Doc acknowledged. "But the shields are barely holding, and the propulsion systems are nearing inoperability," Chief replied. Amongst the unfolding chaos, Mission Control knew they needed to quickly get a hold of the situation and implement their emergency procedures to keep everyone alive. Suddenly detecting another barrage approaching, barreling towards them, Chief hurried to activate the emergency alarm as he instructed everyone to take cover. Sadly, it was too late. It impacted, smashing into the command deck as a massive explosion rocked MC. Now zeroed in, the bombardment rained down relentlessly. The crew repeatedly body slammed into their consoles by each passing shockwave as they struggled to maintain control of the fleet. "Chief, divert all remaining power to the kids." "Roger, Captain, it's done." Concurrently, as the team quickly prepped to relocate, Captain gave the team a running brief saying, "There's no change in our emergency plan. Let's get to MWAM 31 and evacuate the fleet from there. Chief, you're second in command, and use whatever you need to lead us to our families." "Doc, if need be, we'll perform triage on the move." "Listen up everyone, I'm last out. Holler out if anybody falls. Watch out for each other. Let's ensure no one gets left behind. This will test our faith to its foundations. Let's go." "Roger, Captain," Chief, Doc and the rest of the team replied. As Mission Control buckled under the relentless bombardment, throwing everyone and anything not secured violently through the air, mercilessly smashing life forms up against whatever lay in the way. Intense heat penetrated the outer shields and then breached the protective exterior walls as the bombardment impacted, with devastating accuracy, as choking smoke from the explosions lingered in the air. The fumes from charred instruments vented into the passageways, making escape even more challenging. With mayhem erupting in every direction, the crew anxiously sprinted back to their kids, tripping and fumbling, sustaining wounds along the way, with every step to reach the junior eco-marshals physically and emotionally painful. "We need to reach them quickly." "Keep going team, whoever gets there first, protect the kids." Amongst the thunder of destruction and chaos, a confident "I, Captain" echoed through the passageway. The explosions catapulted anyone and everyone up high, ricocheting torsos off the walls and back to the ceiling in a constant recycling motion, body slamming Captain and crew to the floor, akin to tumble drying but with torsos in the mix. The noise quickly grew deafening as the bombardment continued to intensify, making an already difficult situation mind-altering as the going became ever more excruciating with each bone-shattering step. Scrambling forward every 2 yards gained, conceded 1, with determination providing a boost of endorphins inch by inch moving ever closer to their kids. As pain lost its edge, everyone's focus aligned to team, helping, encouraging, and when opportunity called, leading from the front. "Chief, keep scouting forward, Doc, and I have all the wounded." "Aye, aye, Captain," Chief determinedly replied. Echo sighed and Despotic Askew struck with all the dark energy at their disposal, continuously blindsiding mission control, each hit chalked up for fun. Obliterator's anticipation grew as he relished the suffering the life forms would go through before their agonizing demise. Nothing was going to prevent him vaporizing mission control, effectively chopping off the fleet's head, leaving the MW Milky Way, and the AM-31 Andromeda MESI-31 intergalactic space stations defenseless. His plan was simple, strengthened by a near-limitless source of power from a planet in a quadrant of the Milky Way galaxy. He'll start at MC and then execute his way down to MW AM-31. The kids were there hibernating in lockdown, awaiting the arrival of their parents. In an attempt to protect all the life forces aboard the fleet, Arthurian uploaded sequence to MC's network to safeguard the parents and dispatched Pure Titanius to protect the kids if the situation deteriorated. He then placed the acts of valor needed to save life forms and entities, under the protection of the Knights of the Cosmic and Venerable Orders of the Butterfly and Rainbow, guided by the Lone Star. Sequence and Pure Titanius with their deployment anointed by the Empyreans, Celestials before the time of Thanos, the theory of the Big Bang, as well as time and infinity themselves, quickly initiated their action plans to render aid to the battle-scarred fleet. The Butterfly metamorphosized in synergy with Rainbow, who then, through the prism spectrum, beamed Pure Titanius to intervene and rescue the kids. As all the parents neared the airlock entry to MW AM-31, their anxiety turned into utter desperation as the blast tore through the space station's exterior biostructure, as cries of terror bellowed above the pandemonium. Tossed backwards by the blast, the junior eco-marshal's parents looked on in indescribable anguish. Screaming into the emptiness of space, their torture evident through the rivers of tears that flow endlessly. The heartache was too much to bear as mothers and fathers cried out in desperation for their children, drowned out by the relentless tearing of exterior biostructure, only to hear life itself fading as the air drained away into the deep dark void of space, tormentingly punctuating the overwhelming realization, everyone they know and love, is about to die. Amongst the murmurs of pain and sadness tangled between contorted titanium beams and life forms, fellowship echoed out, "Stay strong everyone, this is not the end. Let hope reverberate through the airlocked door to our children," as one voice begot two then three until everyone joined in the chorus. Then compassionately through the darkness of despair, a lone star shone amidst the backdrop of sadness, illuminating evil's use of tragedy, revealing despotism's Achilles heel for valor to then strategize, counteract and reign victorious. Strategically, the Lone Star enveloped Mission Control's passageway, its ambient light backlit the tortured faces of grieving parents, as its glow gradually intensified, evoking a sense of calm as the air pressure stabilized, allowing tormented souls a momentary reprieve as frowns gave way to sighs of relief. Autonomously, while aided by the healing warmth of the Lone Star's luminosity, the outer biostructure hastened its granulation tissue growth, expeditiously patching the damaged exterior wall. Overtly ushering in a moment of hope, as it is better to survive a fraction more of a nanosecond for the chance to turn the tide of the battle. Pure Titanius, of noble origins, derived from the pure energy life force dispersed throughout the universe sent by the Empyreans, did its utmost to shift all the fleet out of Despotic Askew's reach. With his power dwindling, he initiated the fleet's prime directive, diverting all his energy to defend the children aboard MW AM-31. Knowing Sequence was on board Mission Control reconning the battlefield, poised ready to intercede with extreme prejudice, tempered by mercy. So, without delay, engaging the space-time continuum, warping all the kids' life forms through the time frame of space out of Despotic Askew's grasp, ensuring it was safe, he returned the junior eco-marshals to their original departure point. Frantically scanning for signs of life, the kids were becoming traumatized as there was only emptiness. With overwhelming remorse, Pure Titanius conveyed to Arthurian Mission Control's status. And without hesitation, Arthurian took the kids under his protection. What had unfolded was MC with the kids' parents on board were all atomized. But before Despotic Askew had the opportunity to vaporize their atoms, permanently exterminating their life forces, Sequence was able to react, within a femtosecond metamorphosized all the atomized particles of MC straight out of the clutches of the League of the Dark Forces. Then clandestinely transferred every entity and life force to a protected subdimension of Orion's belt. Obliterator immediately responded with an overwhelming barrage of firepower striking sequence, who selflessly shielded the kid's parents and entities' life forces with his own impermanence. The pain and suffering he bore all without tear or sorrow or a frown in anger, for each step ascended bears him closer to the scribe of deeds acknowledgement which gives thanks for exploits past as one transcends into pure energy, harmonizing with the cosmos. Slowly until his last agonizing step, sequence shielded those he loved till sanctuary secured the safety of all under his charge, guardedly commencing the process of metamorphosis, resequencing their atomized particles back to their original bioorganic structures. But they cannot return anytime soon, as they remain stranded in a subdimension of infinite space. Expeditiously, given the unfolding catastrophe, Arthurian had uploaded sequence, a freely gifted part of one's life force belonging to bots, sextant drone, and IMAX, including a component of his life force to provide leadership if required, to Mission Control's network. Their sacrifice enabled MC to survive and provided the fleet with intermittent communication connectivity between the two dimensions, noting that maintaining a stable solid-state transferable link between dimensions demands a hyper-supernova Big Bang energy event as the distance connecting both are infinite. 5 years have passed since the terrifying ordeal summoned innocents to shed tears of sorrow as mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters bear the burden of immeasurable light years separating each other from the comfort of a parent's loving embrace. Flagrantly, the League of the Dark Force's vengeance spared none, mercilessly obliterating life for their amusement and bragging rights. And if not for pure Titanius protecting the kids and sequence shielding the teens' parents, they would all be dead. Living life with the Obi-Wan Zen focus, now, in their teens, surviving, learning, and growing stronger from each experience will not stop, as the junior eco-marshals assemble the fate of the cosmos in their hands. Resolute, they stand vanguard on the precipice of life, ready to champion Ecocide's defeat. And with the card of urgency dealt, they move without delay to expedite their mission, not motivated by hate, but with pious righteousness surging through their veins and love in their hearts, cloaked in diamond shielded by graphene untainted by revenge. With patience, strategies, and tactics evolved a work in progress years in the making, dedicated the kids, Junior Command Eco-Marshals, Commander Star, Meteor, and Galaxy stay the course, laser-focused to reunite everyone back into their family's loving embrace. When Despotic Askew unleashed Obliterator, the cannon of destruction, broadsiding the intergalactic armada, his sole intent focused on vaporizing everyone on board. With their deaths moments away, unable to conduct a tactical retreat, courage, devotion, empathy, and love, foundations that underpin society's resilience during that pivotal moment, Valor stood vehement. Innocence would not fall to evil's agenda. Selflessness 'tis a measure of more than a mere word spoken in fairy tales, a quality of humanity many in a position of power over others through the barrel of a gun cannot begin to comprehend. The acts of bravery sequence and pure Titanius enacted stemmed from pure love for fellow life forms, valor indisputable beyond contestation, courage, so unbelievably unfathomable 'tis scribed in the stars in perpetuity. Before the attack, Mission Control, Milky Way, and Andromeda Messier 31 intergalactic space stations formed a flotilla of 3 orbiting vessels docked in Orion's belt, adjacent to Alitaka triple star system some 1,260 light-years from Earth. Since their extrication into deep space, every entity aboard the Milky Way and Andromeda Messier 31 undergoes regular emergency training, as the crew needs to hasten their reaction to within a nanosecond, for the flotilla's mantra is, as we train, so shall we react. After completing several hours of complex simulator training, the crew mustered in the galley, waiting for the preliminary post-exercise debrief, then dispersed to continue with everyday activities. Cautiously, the team operates knowing that regardless of where they anchor in orbit, Despotic Askew is there lurking in the deepest recesses of despair, ready to pounce and wreak havoc to replenish his master's plate to sustain his feeding frenzy. What gels the team and has guided them through trials and turmoil beyond description, that would make normal life forms jiggle in their space boots, stems from an unshakable belief in their code of conduct, also, faith and trust in the fleet's leadership structure. And embodying their confidence is Commander Star, age, 14.11 Earth years. She's Principal Junior Scientist 1st Fleet Commander of the Andromeda Messier 31, and the Milky Way intergalactic space stations. The commander's appointment is democratic, a free and fair, transparent process, not tainted by disinformation and fake news. Most importantly, the sanctity of life 'tis not subjugated on the pretense of a coup d'état to seize that which is scribed in heaven's stars as inalienable right, freedom, and is independently observed by the Council of Representatives and crew, validated by the venerable Grand Eco-Marshals of the Cosmos. DNT Commander Star is genuinely humbled, knowing everyone in the fleet enjoys the incredible benefits of engaging pluralism and democracy. And the junior eco-marshals are tremendously optimistic all planetary administrations ensure an excellent existence for everyone to the equivalent standard as they endow unto themselves, their friends and family. Commander Star passionately declares she remains devoted to the fleet's primary mission, reuniting all the kids with their parents aboard mission control. Having achieved PhDs in strings cosmology and astroparticle physics, transparent pure energy theory, and transcendental philosophy supports her command and control technical competencies at the helm as First Fleet Commander. Learning continues to represent a critical component for the eco-marshals' survival, while grappling with the complexities that deep space brings upon oneself. However, they know it is not as daunting as grappling with adulthood. Star holds the title of GMCOGS, Grand Mentor of the Cosmic Order of the Galactic Star. When added to the input from MC and the teams provide the base for reflection and debate, complex decision-making processes, contributing to her leadership development. In theory, the position sounds like the dream job, it is but does come with supergalactic human expectations, especially from oneself. Commander Star's most memorable moment was representing the fleet, becoming the first championship title holder, the Trigalactic Graphene Woman, Men, and Biobot Endurance Decathlon, and says now that's an adventure worth seeing on IMAX super screen. As a Grand Mentor, Star studied yoga, meditation, and aerobics under the venerable Grand Eco-Marshals DNT. Their training regime requires one to live the Zen Jedi focus and reflect the Code of Conduct's ethos, a component of an Eco-Marshal's everyday philosophy. During the fleet's daily health and well-being sessions, Star tutors the crew in meditation, yoga, and zero-gravity aerobics to help relieve the buildup of stress and depression. Depression is commonplace given the stresses in life. It's a debilitating medical illness that adversely affects how you feel, think, and act. Fortunately, it is also treatable. Meteor, Chief, and Commander Star routinely conduct self and medically scheduled checks for the signs of depression, feelings of sadness or a loss of interest in activities formerly enjoyed, decreased ability to function in deep space and aboard the space stations, and further diagnosed symptoms. All the crew openly address depression through dialogue and activities designed to stay off its encroachment. Unwinding to IMAX time is one of several approaches used by the crew to relieve stress and decompress. It plays a vital role in supporting the positive state of their mental and emotional health. Viewers marvel at Earth's television and radio signals broadcasted so many decades ago can still stream via IMAX Cybertube. The engineering deck's favorite training modules are Galaxy Quest, Lost in Space, Star Trek, and Doctor Who, also The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Its satire is a stress relief therapy and parodies life in space, the team jokingly says. Funnily enough, it seems each deck has its list of favorite movies and comfort snacks for when they chill out in front of IMAX. For SNR Sarbot, it's the classic high-risk rescue training video, San Andreas. Her squad of daring search and rescue bots hope to cast in the next training video. Can you imagine it, being on the same planet as The Rock, and his crew member the courageous Bell 412 helicopter? Wow. Now that is a wish worth wishing upon 1,000 shooting stars for, all the Sarbots passionately proclaim. Star enjoys relaxing in front of IMAX, especially with a modest bucket of hot popcorn as the butter melts and the aroma wafts in the air. However, the ultimate #1 chart buster, topping the list for a consecutive 14.11 Earth years, is and remains the top of her go-to list of stress decompression methodologies, holographic shopping, cyber shopping, and her favorite, a day shopping with friends at MWISS, Brick and Mortar, Fleet Street in-flight shopping mall. At age 9, Star recalls inheriting then mastering her mother's acoustic guitar. Now, in her teens, she enjoys every moment of solitude she can afford as she relives her mom's style of playing. Whenever the opportunity to decompress arises, Star often jams to several of hers and her mother's favorite songs sung by the Cosmos' legendary maestros of creative expression. Anticipatingly, the tranquility of a solitary moment broke amidst a frenzied backdrop of an erratic reddish-yellow-orange light, in sync to the rhythmic beat of a wavy alternating pitch, raising pulses and anxiety levels throughout the station as the crew hurried back to their desks. As unbeknown to the teams, the newly semi-autonomous forward sensors reactivated the emergency systems. With the corridors buzzing to biobot activity in linked and autonomous modes, the fleet hastened the deck's preparation, readying to deal with the unfolding situation, as the alarm continued sounding past their regular 10-second training mark, then 20, 30, then 40 seconds, showing no signs of abating. Soon after, Commander Star reaffirmed the emergency protocols, readying the check sheets as the hum of biobots whizzing above and the clunking of tool belts reverberated throughout the corridors. Hastily, the crew scampered to their posts, quickly shifting into emergency mode. Commandingly, with her stiff upper voice box, Senior Search and Rescue, SSAR bot, lovingly referred to as Boss, after watching reruns of 007, rallied her troops. "Tally ho, chaps. Follow me." Then out of nowhere, a force zeroed in and struck SSAR, spinning her like a centrifuge on a sugar rush. Regaining her staunch biobot, commanding composure, SSAR kept going forward, then bang, the anomaly hit again, this time in rapid succession. She later said, "It felt like a hammerjack pounding in her memory bank after an all-nighter playing a golden oldie gamer session of LEGO Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga and Halo Infinite." Then as her eye zoomed out, she glimpsed what seemed a distortion, thinking to herself, "That's a distortion uttering, what on Pluto is that?" Abruptly ordering her team as she signaled, "Chaps, take evasive maneuvers. Something is amiss, Geo tacked left, dip now, tacked right." Halley's comet that was close. NAV, swift response, that was under a femtosecond on-field play action analysis followed by excellent offensive and defensive moves. You should try out for the intergalactic NFL Super Bowl. Imagine scooping titles in 4 galaxies spanning 5 solar systems in 2 dimensions of the cosmos, or the ultimate 7 Super Bowl wins. Now that's one for the growth mindset. Beam me to schedule practice time. You've got the goods, young bot. Give it a go. SSAR encouragingly said. Thinking to herself, that's odd though the sensor failed to alert and divert Geo and NAV bot. Geo, tag that spot and beam out a fleet-wide safety advisory. Pinned, beamed, and 99% acknowledgement. Wait. Okay, we're at max response now, boss. Make a note to file, increase safety advisory response training. Point 2, investigate the oddity as a priority 1 task. Dudes, hover at ceiling level, don't drop down. Follow me, chaps. Move to the flow and drift into staggered formation, stay linked, try and avoid a bot-on-bot scrimmage and delink only in an emergency. Stealthily performing show-stopping feats of Kung Fu Panda, aeronautical acrobatics, zigzagging and spinning on a dime in a display of botly pirouettes, as they overtook the serious-minded engineering bots stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic below. Preemptively, SSAR called out, "Boys, go autonomous, the radar sensor is down, scout forward and stream your findings back." We're all set up, beaming back 10, 5, 4, streaming live now, boss. Good work, Geo and NAV, the live footage indicates the way is clear. Let's go, chaps. Tally ho, guys, report back if you encounter any problems ahead. Your priority 1 task is to activate the 5D theater and retrieve Cyber Triage's data, then beam them over to me so I can consult with Meteor on the crew's medical status. All tasks complete, and the data is on its way to your cyber mail, boss. Jolly good show, chaps, hip hip. On returning to post, having observed an anomaly showing on the holographic display, Galaxy alerted the fleet's pulsar-based navigation system, named Sextant, Station Explorer for X-ray timing and navigation technology, to deploy the spheric scanner. Chief, I've activated the 4D imaging processor, it's pixelating the object now, height currently visual, depth and width showing, augmenting temporal dimension, scan complete, formatting in 10, 5. Imaging now. Bioscan initiated. However, the readings are inconclusive, the sensors are unable to penetrate the inner core. The data confirms your assumptions, Chief. I'll prep the images and dispatch them to Commander Star. Thanks. Sextant also placed the junior management team JMT, Star, Meteor, and I, also, Arthurian, IMAX, and yourself in copy. I'll inform Star now before the situation escalates. Promptly calling out, Commander, the forward sensors picked up on an object indicating an emergency amber alert and sounded the warning systems in response. Sextant is beaming the imagery to your desk. IMAX is airing it on mega screen in 10, 5, 4, beaming live now. Checking the footage, Star commented, Guys, I concur with your findings. The anomaly is an imminent threat. Start preparing the command deck for Ember protocols. I'll stream direct and brief the fleet of the situation. Commander, the mic's live and ready to beam when you are. Splendid Sextant, much appreciated. By now, the crew was anticipating an advisory explaining the reason for the emergency alarm. In an audible and confident tone, Commander Star summarily addressed both space stations. Attention everyone, this is an Amber alert, this is not a drill. I say again, this is an Amber alert, this is not a drill. Chief confirmed that a massive object continues to rocket towards the fleet at maximum velocity. Prepare for defensive maneuvers. Engineering deck set the fleet's atmospheric shields to optimal efficiency, then stand by for my command to divert the reserve power to reinforce the shields. Communication deck activate and arm the fleet's sonic booms, set the weapon system's acoustic amplifiers at maximum amplitude, and lock in deflective pulse. Then stand by for my command to deploy preventative measures. Our rules of engagement requires we use minimum force. I intend to divert the asteroid off our trajectory, ensuring not to cause it harm. All stations, stand by. And as rehearsed in the simulation training, a repertoire of clear, concise technical chatter quickly filled the void, as the piercing screech and repetitive flashing of the strobe light from the emergency alarm system gradually blended into the background, then faded out. In a flurry of activity in what seemed a seamlessly choreographed routine of synchronized gestures and numerical poetry, the command deck focused their attention on the massive object tracked on screen, moving at an accelerated trajectory of 18,000 miles per hour. Sextant identified the mass as an asteroid recorded as Diddy Moon, hurtling through the outer quadrant of Orion's belt, straight towards the Armada. Sextant, please confirm the status of the asteroid's life force. Stand by, Commander. I am currently receiving the preliminary readings from my sensors. They indicate its outer biostructure is neither dormant nor in a state of hibernation. And, the sensors are not detecting any readings originating from its inner core. Regrettably, as the data is incomplete, I cannot confirm whether Diddy Moon is inanimate or alive. Therefore, my findings are inconclusive. Together Galaxy and Star strategized defensive measures to offset potential scenarios that may adversely impact the Armada, and contemplated how the mass object could maintain its current trajectory, given the existence of a supermassive black hole, considering its immense gravitational pull at its disposal. So, with the hole positioned to the right of Diddy Moon, theoretically, the asteroid should move towards starboard and not stay on a collision course with the Armada. Curiously, Diddy Moon's movement is in sync with a star of unknown origins. Historical data referenced from the Galactic Post indicates a similar phenomenon appeared in the cosmic sky several time frames ago. A lone star guided three wise life forms across ancient sands to behold the miracle within a manger. Furthermore, there is a likely probability a competing anomaly is occupying the same quadrant as the black hole on screen. Additionally, the sensors are reading minute traces of electromagnetism coming from that same quadrant. Curiously, a flux occurred. I've informed the navigation team to monitor the magnetism strength and alert us immediately of any changes. Galaxy proposed that perhaps a pulsar, a highly magnetized rotating compact star emitting beams of electromagnetic radiation out of its poles, coupled with the black hole, simultaneously affects Diddy Moon's movement. Observing the threat was drawing closer and agreeing with the analysis, Commander Star authorized engineering to immediately reinforce all the fleet's atmospheric shields. As MWISS banked hard to starboard, rainbows of color streamed through the portals, refracting sparkling pastel rays beaming off every surface of the command deck, as the spheric shields intensified, defensively cloaking the MW and AM-31 ISS. At that point, Star hailed the communication deck, aka comms, to prepare the sonic booms, issuing the precautionary order to stand by, preempting the crew. On my mark, waiting for the executive order, the command deck went quiet as the countdown neared. Comms aligned the crosshairs on the target. The team watched as the power level synced to the countdown as 1, 2, 3 sounded, and the control panel turned red, yellow leveling off at green, arming the firing mechanism. Glancing at the holographic display, pausing, breathing deeply, then slowly exhaling, all the while observing the screen, Commander Star ordered, "Fire." As the sonic booms pulsated out, autofocus zeroed in on the crosshairs, each successive volley intensifying until the asteroid's trajectory shifted to where it wasn't an imminent threat. "Commander, all reports indicate a direct hit without significant fragmentation. Please explain." Sextant. "Commander, the sonic booms successfully altered the asteroid's trajectory without inflicting any damage to it." However, the sensors detected a flux that a nanosecond later identified a capsule no greater than a centimeter squared detaching from Diddy Moon. Peculiarly, the object appears to be slowly approaching our shields. If the elements from Didymoon's outer core broke off, his fragments will in all probability incinerate themselves given its mass, as it drifts into the flotilla's atmospheric shields. Furthermore, if granted the right of evolution, following the teaching of the first commandment of the cosmos, aligned to the galactic code of conduct, the element will metamorphosize, and if not, they will knowingly vaporize on entry. Much obliged, Sextant, and call me immediately if the shields activate. Roger, Commander. Engineering deck. Maintain all 5 layers from the troposphere up to the outer exospheric shields at optimal capacity, and as a contingency have the shields relay all incursions direct to Guardian please. Acknowledged Commander, all layers are online, autonomous, and programmed to alert your watch. Splendid, Engineering. Galaxy and I will be at Starbucks. So stay tuned into our cyber framework of .Earth multimedia platforms. First in the suite is Global Portal .Earth, a hypermedia approach which promotes battle space commanders, a sci-fi autobiography of what was, what is, and the future to engaging the global pursuit of democracy, thus bringing about an end to autocracies. The site also covers the fight for environmental, planetary and life forms rights, to bring about the reverse of climate change, and an end to cruelty towards and the extinction of life forms. You'll also find available our site Futures Fantastic .Earth, which provides a perspective on meeting and mitigating with extreme prejudice life's challenges brought about by climate change, and evil autocracies, and doing so with gusto, wit, and style. Third in the suite of platforms is the Galactic Post .Earth, an accurate, reliable account of events occurring on Earth. It's your quasi-space-eye perspective of news without or misinformation or fake news. The .Earth platforms are aligned to the pursuit of global democracy, environmental compliance, and life forms rights, brought to you through online radio, social media, YouTube, cyber sites and via Amazon's ebook paperback, Battle Space Commander.